Welcome to Recovery That Works with Pastor Mike Barnes. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being a part of this. I am the pastor at Providence Evangelical Friends Church in Virginia Beach, 5340 Providence Road, 23464. And I'm glad that you're here with us today and that you're taking an opportunity to watch this video. We do quite a bit of recovery ministry here. We have a meeting on Friday nights, exchanged at 7 o'clock, where we have some teaching. I do some teaching on Christ-centered recovery. Also, we have small group time, and it's just a great opportunity if you're ready to take the next step in your recovery. Also, we have some homes, some transitional homes, for men making transition from incarceration or rehab. And today we're going to take an opportunity to interview someone that lives in one of our homes at our Strand House. But before we do, I want to talk to you just a minute about finding our bottom. You know, I've often heard that finding our bottom is when we get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we realize that we have a problem. And that's true. But I believe that really finding our bottom is when we make a decision that we want to do things differently. In Luke chapter 15, in the story of the prodigal son, in verse 17, after he had ended up in the hog pen, after he lost everything he had, and he tried his way one more time by hiring himself out to a citizen of the country to feed the swine, in verse 17 it says, when he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your servants. In this story, we see him getting to the point where he believes his only hope is to return to the Father. Step 2 says we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. The first step to sanity in our recovery is realizing, maybe even on a small scale, that things need to change, that I have to develop and work on my relationship with my higher power. And that's what he does. So today, we're going to take an opportunity to interview someone from our friend's Faith House, someone that I know very well, someone that I've seen take the next step in their recovery. And we're going to give him a chance to tell us some things about his story, about how he ended up here, and where he's at today, and maybe even what the future holds. So Mark, come on up and sit down. This is Mark Perry. Mark Perry is, like I said, one of the men that is part of Friends Faith House that has come to us. So why don't we start with, Mark, what was your life like before you decided to do things differently?
My life was just a revolving circle. Just get clean, go back out, get clean, go back out, rehab, jail, everything that was not positive for my life was happening.
How did you end up there? What was your home life like?
It was good. I was raised by my grandmother. That was good. I played sports, all different types of sports, soccer, baseball, basketball. Went to private school, which she put me through because she didn't, she wanted the best for me. So I did all that, and I just wanted to do things my way, and it was a mistake. And instead of doing things the way I should have, and and be not rebellious, I decided to just rebel and live how I wanted to live.
What's your life like today?
Today I am happy, 100%. I remind myself every day that even on my worst day, I live like somebody on their best. So that's motivation in itself, just to keep going and just keep doing what I have to do to stay on course. And, I'm not doing things the worldly way anymore.
Where was the time where you really made a decision to do things differently? You had switched from your plan, which kind of led to some destruction, to doing things differently and trying to do things God's way.
Well, I got arrested and went to jail. And during that time, I've just seen things differently, as far as this is not what I want to do. This nonstop, just in and out, people just in and out all the time, and just for trying to do things the same exact way every time you get out and go right back out there. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So during my time of incarceration, I really evaluated myself as far as, what do I really want out of life? Do I want to keep doing this, or do I want to be positive for myself, my family, and possibly an influence for other people in the future?
What part did Friends Faith House and the ministry here at Providence Friends Church play in that?
I think the Friends Faith House definitely gave me an opportunity to pursue the mindset that I was making for myself when I was incarcerated, and it gave me a lot of positive people to be around. It wasn't the same people. It was, people who are trying to do what I'm trying to do, and being around people that have been through what I've been through. And actually, they understand my struggle as well, because they have relatively the same struggle. So I think it's definitely been a positive impact in my life, as far as seeing how it's worked for other people and how it can work for me if I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Good. How do you feel about your future today?
My future looks bright. I see a lot of good things happening for me. Opportunities have been opening themselves up in a positive way, and I say it's crazy all the time, but it's not crazy. It's just God working in my life, and I'm just like, things happen, I'm just like, man, that's crazy. We were just talking about that, blah, 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 blah. And doors open. When one door shuts, another one opens. And that chapter of my life shut, and an opportunity for me to be, to do God's will, and to try to touch other people based on my experience with, maybe they have the same thing going on. And I'm grateful.
How do you feel today as you look at your future, or even your life today? It's no big surprise that addiction, alcoholism, is really kind of self-centered. I mean, it is a self-driven disease. But how do you feel today? Do you feel like your life has begun to come full circle, where you're not just focused on yourself, but you either have a desire or even today, maybe even helping other people.
Addiction definitely is self-centered, and you're not worried about anything else. You don't care about the people you hurt. You don't care about hurting yourself. You just don't care about anything other than getting that next one, or the only thing you're worried about is how am I going to get that next one, and then you get the next one, and then you're worried about how am I going to get the next one after that. And I'm glad to be out of that cycle.
Do you feel like today you either have a desire or are actually starting to help other people?
Yes, 100%. That's my main focus is, of course I have to take care of myself, but helping other people just to see what it can be like if they really want it. And if there's anything I can do for people, I try to, be able to do that. And some people don't have people that care.
Yeah.
So, and some people get used to not having people that care.
Yeah.
So, as far as that's concerned, I try to show people like I do actually care.
Yeah.
If you need someone to talk to or anything, I'm that guy.
Well, thank you. Just as we kind of end our time here, I want to say thank you to Mark for sharing with us today, and also just kind of sharing his strength and hope that he has today. And as we look at this, I want you to know that's available for you today. Oftentimes we get so stuck in this selfish cycle of addiction that we don't see the light. We don't see a future. But there is one there. But we have to take the next step. Mark took the next step. He came when he got out of jail, he became part of our Friends Faith House. He comes to our meetings on Friday nights and our Bible study on Tuesdays and our church service on Sunday. And I've noticed in Mark really a desire to help other people. Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Mark for taking the opportunity to allow me to interview him and to share how the ministry here has impacted his life. And I'm thankful for Mark, and I'm thankful for the way that he has changed and the man that he is today. Oftentimes, we struggle with that. We struggle with the idea, and Paul put it this way in Romans 7. He says, I do the things I don't want to do, but the very things I hate, I do. We go through this process of wanting to change ourselves, wanting to fix ourselves. The prodigal son couldn't do it. The Apostle Paul in Romans 7 couldn't do it. The Apostle Paul began to talk about himself in terms of, I can't fix myself. Nothing good lives in me, that is in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. And one of the things that I've seen in Mark, and I've heard him express today, is that he was really tired of doing things his way. He made a change. He chose God's way. Long-term sobriety is achievable. And I, for one, believe that Mark will achieve that. And his life will be a life of recovery, and God will bless him, and he will begin to achieve things and move on in his life. But that basic principle of I can't, he can, and then going through the process of turning your life and will over to him and saying, I'm going to let him. Releasing the reins of your life and allowing him to drive the ship. Those are things that are important. And I've seen Mark not only express them today, but live them out. And that's really what this is about. Like I said, long-term sobriety is clearly achievable. I don't think that, without a doubt, that's not something that God has for all of us. But sometimes we try to do it on our own. Sometimes we resolve. Sometimes we have a little bit of success. But at the end of the day, we need God to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. I want to thank Mark for sharing some of his testimony here with us today. And I want to just kind of close with the serenity prayer we use at our recovery meeting exchanged. 7 o'clock, Fridays, Providence Friends Church, 5340 Providence Road. So let us close with this prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure, if you would like, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get our Sunday service as well as any videos that we do like this. But thanks for being a part of this. God bless you, and have a great day.